Communications. All right. Communications is probably one of the most important things that that a local SAF unit can do. All right. So, for what purposes are we communicating, or why would you be communicating?
To keep our members engaged.
All right, to keep your members engaged. Going back to membership. Excellent, excellent. So how are you keeping them engaged? Are you asking them for something, or
asking them, or telling them that you're there, telling them that you have services to offer.
Okay. All right. So as part of the membership, relations feature. Okay. All right. Good. Good. Why else?
Keep them informed.
Okay. Keep them informed. All right. Talking about what the chapter, what the division, what the state society's been doing. Yeah.
Along those lines, provide broader legacy and context so you don't repeat efforts.
Nice. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So yeah, not just reporting, but also kind of putting that message out there and kind of like the bigger picture. Essentially. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. What were some other things that we discussed that involved communications? All right. So I would argue we just got done with the talk about policy, right? And informing our members, but also external communications. We're talking to the outside world. We're talking to folks beyond these four walls. All right. We're talking to non-members. We're talking to folks in allied organizations or agencies. Maybe we're talking to folks who, aren't quite so allied with us. All right, but we're communicating, outside of ourselves. So that's a huge important one. What's one last one for internal communications that we've talked about so far? All right. So science and technology, communicating out that science and technology aspect, making sure that we're keeping our members abreast of the newest stuff going on in the profession. So I'm not going to read through these slides. So printed them out, and consider this for your local chapter, for your local division, state society. Okay, we need to break communications up into two chunks. All right, because we're going to communicate different ways based on that. Are we talking to the outside world? Are we talking, outside of SAF? All right, that is external communications, and maybe there's a demand for that in your state or in that area. Maybe there isn't. It goes back to having yourself a plan. Taking a look at the big picture out there in your state, in your area. Are we telling people what forestry is, why forests are important, why we as foresters love the woods and the rivers and streams and the wildlife and everything like that? All right? If that is missing in your state, and there isn't an easy way through an allied organization or something like that to get it done quickly, then I beg of you to make that a goal of your local SAF unit, to make that happen through your external communications. All right, so that's really key. And hey, listen, it's a little tough. Oops, I'm on the wrong slide. It can be a little tough reaching out to folks. It's easy reaching out to foresters. We've had a lot of the same training, whether it's college or after college or whatnot. All right, in many ways we have a lot of the same values. Okay, no two people are the same, but we share a lot in common. All right, when we reach out beyond ourselves, things get a little bit tougher. But as long as we are communicating effectively, it does work out. I had mentioned the core values language of SAF, and gosh, it really helps when you don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is language that is out there, and if you have the opportunity to use it instead of trying to come up with it on your own, gosh, that's some serious hours saved, and we're all volunteers here. The other things I'll talk about just real quick as far as external communication. Nobody outside of our profession really likes jargon. All right, so be as jargon-free as possible. Be powerful without overstating your case. Avoid it's complicated. I once, somebody told me that when they hear those two words, it's the speaker's signal that you're kind of too dumb to understand what's coming after it. It's not your intention, but going back to perceptions, that's what we're being told that the listener is hearing. So definitely avoid stuff like that, and then understand that ours isn't the only profession out there. A lot of professions out there are extremely deadline based, and those in the press, they run under some crazy deadlines. So if you do reach out to them, make sure that you're respecting their time needs as well. The one fast note that I'll just quickly throw up on the screen here, I did not mean that literally, is, you can laugh, that was a joke.
Thank you.
All right, is social media. Social media is interesting but tricky. There's some folks who say it's not tricky. There are certain ways to do it. There's not enough that I can do to really give that topic what it's worth. But SAF does have basically a best practices manual for using social media in your local SAF unit, and it's a really good read because it goes through a lot of stuff and gives a lot of really practical advice in there. So hopefully that's something that they continue to update because social media is obviously a real thing. All right.